Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Crystal Cards. My name is Brian Mead and I am your host for Crystal Cards. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. I'm sorry, I get busy, don't have a lot of time, but I will try and keep bringing you videos, as I have decks build and whatever. Today we are talking about these guys. This is Madolche. There's really no reason a deck that is as cute as this one is, and these monsters are cute, they're cutesy, adorable monsters, should be this good. Madolche has the ability to just dramatically give you card advantage in ways that a lot of other decks can't. And it really starts right here with Chateau. This is one of the first Madolche cards to come out. It was it's the field spell, came out in in Return. Anyway, when Madolche Chateau is activated, you can add all the Madolche cards, or all the Madolche monsters in your graveyard back to your deck, and it gives them all 500 if they're destroyed while they're on the field. Instead of going from the graveyard back to the deck, they'll go from the graveyard back to your hand, which is also awesome, and give you a lot of card advantage that way. You start combining that with things like Madolche Magdalene, who whenever normal summon can search out a Madolche monster, Madolche Messagelato, which whenever special summoned while you have a beast type out, can go ahead and let you search out a spell or trap. And with the deadly Madolche ticket that we just got, that in combination, once again, just generating massive amounts of card advantage and field advantage even if you get the Tiramisu out. Tiramisu, of course, a rank 4 Xyz monster just for Madolches, who the advantage that she can generate is ridiculous too. My deck is going to be a little bit different than others. Probably one of the really big differences, and you'll see this when I do the deck build here in a few minutes, but I only run one copy of Pudding Cess in here now. I had 2 in here for a long time. A lot of people ask me why I don't run 2 in here, and then when they look through the deck, they're really surprised to see that I main deck Max C in Madolche. And my whole reasoning is because Madolche is really good, but if you don't have the right cards, it can't explode out all in one turn. So if you don't have your double summons, your ultimate offerings, like a Madolche Fairy, like a Tiramisu, or Pudding Cess in the field, and Madolche Palooza, you can have trouble field rushing. It's not hard to get field control though, and it's really easy to get hand control. So yeah, I guess here is the deck list for Madolches. Okay, so here is the Madolche deck. First thing, I have 3 copies of Madolche Magdalene. She is the Stratus for the deck. She can search out any Madolche monster straight to your hand. 2 copies of Madolche Kerfassan. This bad boy can add a Madolche card from your side of the field back to your hand to increase his attack by 300 and his star level by 1. 2 copies of Madolche Messagelato. This, if special summoned while you have a beast type Madolche out, can search out a spell or trap Madolche card from your deck to your hand, just increasing my card advantage again. I usually special summon him with one of my 3 copies of Madolche Mewiful, who can special summon a Madolche monster from your hand when normal summoned. Flash. Glare. Okay. 1 copy of Madolche Chevalier. This is his effect. Basically, I can make you swing into him if you attack a different Madolche monster. 1 copy of Madolche Pudding Cess. I had 2 in here for a long time. I just recently went down to 1, and the primary reason behind that is this right here: 2 copies of Max C. This may seem like a little bit of overkill for people who have been playing Madolches for a while, just because you generate a lot of card advantage on your own anyways, but Max C, this is really just to stop a lot of those, the wind-up decks, the Merlantian deck, a lot of those things that'll just rush right out on you. If I can drop a Max C, it'll usually stop them, and if I can draw into one of my 2 copies of Trag, which is the final monster in the deck, it's just wonderful, because Trag can get really huge with Madolches, because the way they bounce all cards back to their hand. On the spells, 2 copies of Pot of Duality, 1 copy of Heavy Storm, 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Dark Hole, and 1 Monster Reborn. Yeah, I still use Monster Reborn. Usually grab them out of my opponent's graveyard. No, but whatever. 3 copies of Madolche Chateau, getting away from the the staple cards. 2 copies of Ticket. It's important to also note that Ticket's really good in this deck, but you only really need 2 because you can only use the effect of Ticket once per turn. And with Tiramisu, you can target the Ticket that's in your graveyard if it's already been destroyed, and you can throw it back into your deck. So it's really not that bad to only have 2. I don't ever have a problem with only having 2. Chateau, run at 3, and this is more because I like to be able to put my monsters back into my graveyard. Chateau, whenever activated, throws all the Madolche monsters in your graveyard back into your deck. In addition to that, it gives an extra 500 and bounces them back to the hand, so it's just advantage all over the place. And then finally, 2 copies of Double Summon. I'm going to get a little more into why I use Double Summon here in a minute. Finally, onto the traps, we've got 2 copies of Fiendish Chain. This is kind of crucial in here just because I don't run Veiler. I have 2 Veilers in the side deck, but I main deck 2 Fiendish Chains to stop those nasty effects that just can wreck you. 2 copies of Bottomless Trap Hole. I don't want to run Solemn Warning in here, primarily because I end up paying points a lot of times. And yeah, 2 copies of Compulse. This is extra good in here because I feel like I have a Ticket on the field and I compulse my own monster. It's great, not to mention it's a chainable trap, so it's always nice being able to set one of those and have it live. 2 copies of the Huge Revolution is over. Obviously, I have a lot of traps in here. I've got a lot of spells. I've got my field spell. I've got my Ticket and my continuous spell. Huge Revolution is over. I've stopped more Heavy Storms with this than Heavy Storm gets played on me. I can stop Dark Hole. I can stop a lot of things. Torrential. So Huge Rev is nice to have. 1 copy of Madolche Palooza. I only think 1 copy is necessary, once again, because you can search it back out of the graveyard. This is one of the easiest cards to get into your graveyard, too, just because you can activate it and it goes in the graveyard. You've now got a whole bunch of monsters on the field, start overlaying, and you've got 1 Madolche in the graveyard already, so you can immediately go into Tiramisu. And finally, 1 copy of Ultimate Offering, and this goes into the same reason as Double Summon, which is one of the more broken combos in the deck. Like I said, we'll get into that here in a minute. Quickly, the extra deck. I run 2 copies of Madolche Queen Tiramisu. She is the big, kind of badass for the deck, but the problem is you need Madolche monsters to overlay for her. And I think 2 is really enough, once again, because you can use her own effect to throw the other one back into your extra deck. And you can, I've summoned this card 7 times in a game. But 1 copy of number 39 Utopia goes with C39 Utopia Ray. I have the ability to pay my life points down using Ultimate Offering to 1,000 to 500. So being able to then combo with a Utopia Ray is amazing. 1 copy of Steel Swarm Roach. This guy wasn't in there until the tin came out, but with a lot of the with Heretic still being a good deck, with Chaos Dragon still being good, with seeing Megalo pop out all the damn time. There's just a lot of high-level monsters that you'll still see played, and so it's kind of nice to have a Roach. 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. This is primarily to deal with things like, those Atlantean decks. And, yeah, so Abyss Dweller, awesome. Just detach 1, negate the effects of graveyard effects. 1 Gemnite Pearl. This is a beater. Also really nice because it's Earth, which was why it made the cut. Because in the side deck, I also have, a lot of cards that are Earth-based, so Gemnite Pearl, awesome. If you're recruiting Goes and Match or something. Gaga Cowboy, I run at 1 in here. Gaga Cowboy, I was at YCS Seattle and had a guy come up to me and goes, "Why would you ever run Gaga Cowboy?" I run Gaga, I'm going to explain this. I run Gaga Cowboy primarily for his defense mode effect to burn you for 800. I don't care care about the Burning You for 800. My goal primarily is to put whatever card was attached to him into my graveyard. That way I can, bring it back with a special ability, get more advantages. I'm trying to do combos with this card. This isn't a card that you're going to just drop out in attack mode and attack for game most of the time. I've done that. It's also nice if you can get your opponent into a position where they don't really have a whole lot of options and they got like 500, 600 left, and to be able to drop a guy or a cowboy while you still got other things is really fun too, just because then you're forcing them to worry about the cowboy as opposed to anything else, and if they don't have an answer for the cowboy, then they lose. One copy of Stroke, the Symphony de Jin. Awesome. One copy of number 16, Shockmaster. I've got a lot of level 4s in here, and I probably could even up this to 2. But I really think that Shockmaster, with the 3 overlay monsters necessary to create him at 1, is perfectly fine. On to the rank 3s. We've got one copy of Soulless Silver Mountain. This guy's awesome. By detaching one, you can target face down on your opponent's side of the field. They can't activate that spell trap until Soulless Silver Mountain leaves. Plus, you can detach one from him to go ahead and special summon an Earth monster from your graveyard. Since all the Madolches are Earth, almost every monster in the deck is Earth, with the exception of the Trags. This is a really great way to bring back a Message Gelato, and immediately, as long as you got another Madolche out there that's Beast type, Soulless Silver Mountain special summon the Message Gelato, instantly go into searching for a spell like a Chateau or a ticket. One copy of Wind Up Zenmanes. Obviously, Wind Up Zenmanes is one of the best Xyz monsters in the game, so not a real big surprise we're running him. One copy of MX Saber Invoker. This is once again specifically for that speed concept with Madolches. They're all Earth. Several of them are warriors. So by using Invoker's effect, once again, I can get my Message Gelato out. I can get my Chevanier out. And then you go from that into overlay plays for Tiramisu typically. One copy of number 20, Giga Brilliant. Just a general good card. And then if you've been counting, that's 14 extra deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the last spot is for me. I've been using number 12, Crimson Armor Shadow Ninja. This might sound a little crazy because I don't have a lot of 5-stars. As a matter of fact, I've only got one 5-star in the deck. In my pudding cess, that doesn't mean that I can't possibly turn a Trag into a level 5, or what is a lot more likely is my Crefosant, with me using his effect multiple times, to turn my Crefosant into a level 5 monster. The reason that I chose to go with Crimson Armor Shadow Ninja over something that's probably more popular, like Tyrus or Adreus, is specifically because he is an Earth type, and because I will go into Gozen Match quite a bit in Duel 2. A lot of times, it's nice to be able to have that Earth monster that you can still pull out. He still can't be destroyed. He's a good card. So that's why I went with him. But that's not to say that you couldn't go with Adreus, Tyrus, or another rank 5. If you want to go with number 33, that's all on you. All right. So that's the deck.